Good afternoon. You're watching ABC News GH. This is ABC Midday. I am Abna Mante. Coming up in the headlines, 9 protesters involved in recent anti-Galamsey protests have been granted bail by an Accra High Court, setting the bail at 70,000 Ghana cedis with 2 sureties for each of them. As part of its digitalization agenda, government has launched a common platform called Citizen App to harmonize all transactions and services. Still to come, several applicants requesting for the identification cards are stranded as workers of the Ghana Identification Authority have declared strike. In business, President Akufo-Addo touts the economic rebound after successfully rolling out the domestic debt restructuring program. And on the international front, Rwanda has initiated vaccine trials against the deadly Marburg virus, which has already claimed the lives of at least 12 people. Stay with us. We have these and more coming up shortly. We are streaming live on YouTube, ABC News GH. We are grateful for your time this afternoon. Into our first story, Ama Governor and 8 other Democracy Hub protesters have been granted bail, each set at 70,000 Ghana with 2 sureties. As part of the bail conditions, the accused must report to the police once a week and deposit their Ghana cards at the court registry. This decision follows an appeal against an earlier ruling by the Circuit Court, which denied bail to the 9 individuals. They are part of a group of 53 people charged with unlawful assembly, unlawful damage, assaulting a public officer, and offensive conduct conducive to breaching the peace. These charges stem from their alleged involvement in disturbances during a protest against illegal mining in Galamsey. Despite opposition from the state, the court granted the bail. The court granted the bail application submitted by the defense lawyers. The other 8 individuals granted bail include Emmanuel Jan, Emmanuel Kwabena Ado, Ziblim Yakubu, Oheneba Prempe, Philip Osu Kwabena, Desmond Akizbek, Von Kofi, and Sadiq Yakubu. In a related case, an appeal concerning a similar bail denial involving Oliver Baker Vomawo, Felicity Nelson, and 10 others is currently under review. Their release comes after protests demanding the release of the detained protesters erupted in Ghana and in the UK. In Ghana, activists staged the 3-day protest chanting slogans and holding placards that read, "Free the protesters" and "Justice for democracy." We are joined by the lead convener of the Coalition Against Illegal Mining and Free the Citizens demonstration, Arimiyao Usama, to have a conversation on this. Good afternoon, Arimiyao.
Good afternoon. Before we proceed again, I would like to make a clarification. We are among the, we are a partner to the conveners.
A partner to the conveners, well noted.
Yes, we National Coalition Against Illegal Mining. And I'm a spokesperson for the National Coalition Against Illegal Mining.
Well noted, Arimiyao. You led a 3-day demonstration to demand the release of the protesters. Now, 9 of them have been granted bail. Are you satisfied?
Thank you very much. The objective of our protests and then the objective of National Coalition Against Illegal Mining is 2. 1, for government to ban illegal mining activities on our freshwater bodies and in our forest reserve. Number 2 is to free all our brothers and sisters who have been unlawfully arrested and are currently serving unlawful detention. Yes, we've heard from the media that some 9 members of those under unlawful arrest have been released. is in the right direction, but it will make complete sense to us if all of them are released on bail, because the charges are the same. Why release some and release some and leave some behind bars? But I understand communication coming to me that a couple of or the rest will be released anytime soon on bail. And we are also hearing Oliver Barker is going to be out of that list. He will still be serving the remand, and that too is a worrying development, because the charges are the same, and if they are all being granted bail, they shouldn't be discriminatory in that regard. So we call for all of them to be released, but hearing that some have been released is in the right direction.
It's in the right direction. The president over the weekend was on France 24 to talk on a number of issues. Key among them is Galamsey. Now, what do you make of the president's statement that it's the behavior of the Democracy Hub protesters that landed them in trouble and has nothing to do with him or with the executive?
It's an unfortunate situation, and at the same time, we are not surprised. There are communications, members of communications team of current government have posed in the media in a way that is not welcoming to a well-meaning Ghanaian. How can issue of how can issue of illegal mining activities not be of concern to the executive? I think the president should have presented himself better, because he has singular authority. Executive order, he can place an executive order on to ban illegal mining activities just by one word, just by one paper from the office of the president, can put all these activities to rest. But it's unfortunate the president says it has nothing to do with him. Or it has nothing to do with his office, the executive office. But we are not just calling the president. We are also calling out all presidential candidates, all parliamentary candidates, to come to us and let us have a dialogue. Let us hear from them that they themselves, if they get the opportunity to serve in the office of the presidency, they wouldn't turn their back on the fight against Galamsey. We want their commitment now. The president has already stated his grounds that the executive has nothing to do. And particularly, I'm sure the president says his office has nothing to do with protests. But I'm not sure he says his office has nothing to do with illegal mining activities. If these distinctions are quite clear, then we are urging the president. Yes, your office may have nothing to do with the protest, but your office has responsibility to protect life and properties. And if our water bodies have been poisoned, if our forest reserves are being ravaged, you have the fiduciary responsibility to step in, because you are the commander-in-chief. You are head of governance. In fact, the military, the police, all other government agencies are under you, and you have the resources and support of people of Ghana to do as you wish. So we call on you, Mr. President. Yes, your office may not have anything to do with protesters or protesting, but your office has a fiduciary responsibility to protect life and properties. So we call on you to ban illegal mining activities with immediate effect. It doesn't take too much to do this.
Arimea, were you impressed about the attitude of the police during your demonstration, especially when the Democracy Hub protesters clashed with the police?
Hello?
Hello, Arimea.
Yes, I'm listening.
Were you impressed about the attitude of the police service during your demonstration?
Yes. We were not impressed with the way and manner they conducted themselves, and when the Democracy Hub took to the streets to protest against illegal mining activities, and that led to the unlawful arrest. That led to their issuance of apology of some activities or procedure they have breached, or laws they have breached. That led to the unlawful detention of our brothers. That we are not happy with it, and that's why we are calling for our brothers and sisters to be released. Now, fast forward to the 3 days demo. we saw a much more civilized policing. We saw a much more organized policing. We saw a much more progressive policing where there was no confrontation, direct confrontation between the protesters and the police. But there were some worrying concerns we have noticed. We realized there were armed policemen who were at a protest ground that is supposed to be peaceful. That is not a development any democracy will want to see. Armed to the teeth policemen, no. Police presence is enough, but to arm them, to brandish their weapons at peaceful protest ground could escalate into anything else. But we saw a much better policing in the 3-day protest.
Finally, before you go, Arimeyao, on the issue of Galamsey, what more is the coalition going to do if your demands are not met?
Yes, so our objective, I'm sure, is well known by everybody. Ban illegal mining activities, release those under unlawful detention after they embarked on a lawful protest. These are our objectives. Now, we don't want the euphoria. National Coalition Against Illegal Mining doesn't want the euphoria to end with just a 3-day protest, to end with a labor strike that has an ending. No, beyond the strike, beyond the labor organization striking, we need to come together, and that's why we are calling on able bodies, labor organizations, student bodies, pressure groups. Let us come together and have a coordinated activities and have a memorandum of understanding to push forward this particular national interest-based protest of ban of illegal mining activity. So we are taking it beyond protest. We are taking it beyond strike actions. So in the coming days, you hear from us, and then the direction that we want to take this.
They will be looking forward to hearing from you in the coming days, Arimeyao.
Thank you.
Thank you for speaking with us. Arimeyao Wusama is with the National Coalition Against Illegal Mining, and he spoke with us on the protesters who were jailed and the 3-day protest that was held over the weekend. Still on the issue of Galamsey, President Akufo-Addo has said the executive arm of government has no influence on the recent arrest and detention of some Democracy Hub protesters. President Akufo-Addo believes that the recent arrest and detention of the protesters rather stems from their behavior during the protest. He explained that as a political leader who has embarked on several protests in the past, he has no problem with citizens protesting about an issue of concern. How can a president who himself, his political career was aided by leading protests, have problems with protests? I don't have problems with protests, President Akufo-Addo told France 24 in a recent interview. According to him, the president is not stifling Ghanaians' rights through any means.
I'm not responsible for jailing people in Ghana. The courts in Ghana are independent institutions, and they have been all through this period of the Fourth Republic. People misconduct themselves and they're brought before court. It's for the court to deal with them. That's not a matter.
It has nothing to do about politics.
It has nothing to do with the executive. And their behavior is what lands them in problem with the police and with the courts. It's not the protests. How can the president, who himself political career was aided by leading protests, have problems with protests? I don't have problems with protests, and nothing is done in Ghana to prevent people from airing their...
More on the issue of Galamsey, the Accra Diocese of the Catholic Church in Ghana is set to hold an environmental prayer protest walk in Accra on Friday, October 11, 2024, aimed at urging the government to take immediate and decisive action against illegal mining, commonly referred to as Galamsey. It will begin at Holy Spirit Cathedral in Adabraka at 10 a.m. amidst the walk through some of the major landmarks in Accra, including Castle Road, Ridge Runabout, Parliament House and Oxford Street, before ending the walk at the Christ the King Parish in Cantonments. A petition will be presented to President Akufo-Addo at the Jubilee House during the event, demanding swift action to address the crisis. According to a press statement dated October 4, such a move underlined the resolve of the Church to contribute towards the protection against environmental degradation and entrench appropriate sustainable practices. The prayer protest is being organized by the Catholic Archdiocese of Accra in conjunction with the Conference of Major Superiors of Religious Ghana and the Catholic lay faithful and professionals. As the country grapples with the Galamsey menace, the Catholic Church has joined calls for traditional leaders to take center stage in the fight against illegal mining. The president of the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference, Most Reverend Matthew Kwesi Jemfi, speaking on ABC in the morning, says any chief that is caught promoting illegal mining activities in the country should be destooled. According to him, a destoolement will serve as a deterrent to other chiefs involved in the menace. He highlighted that the Ghana Catholic Bishops is coming up with a very articulated proposal to Ghanaians in the fight against illegal mining, calling on citizens to join the fight. The Catholic Archdiocese of Accra will commence its prayer walk against illegal mining on Friday, October 11, 2024, and will submit a petition to the President on clamping down on Galamsey activities.
So, all communities we are going to encourage to rise up. Not only demonstration in Accra, that is conceptual. Not only prayer in Accra, that is also to some extent conceptual concept. But the practice where the action takes place and should take place is in every community. They should stand up. If you don't want your water to be polluted, if you don't want to drink poison water, if you don't want your farmlands to be destroyed, and these mercury and dangerous chemicals to get through your food into your system, then stand up and speak and talk and ban it. And don't call anybody to come and savage you in this thing that is so obvious. So chiefs in the communities should join the youth to ban these things in their community. You don't wait for the government again, because the government does not have permission to pollute your water, and nobody else. And the youth and the people in the respective communities to tell their chiefs, if they are involved, to stop it and mobilize them to stop all other people who are doing it. And if they do not do that, I believe the people and the traditional leaders who put the chief there should overthrow him or her who has given the permission to do that, because it's not made a chief to poison our water, to look on when people are poisoning us. So,
still on Galamsey, in a firm stance against illegal mining, Kojo Opon Nkrumah, the Works and Housing Minister and Member of Parliament for Fuansi Irebi, has declared that his constituency will not permit mining activities in their water bodies. His statement comes amidst growing concerns about the environmental impact of such activities and the political pressure surrounding them. Nkrumah told some constituents on Saturday. Nkrumah highlighted the personal financial burden he bears to support anti-mining raids, revealing that he contributes approximately 7,000 Ghana cedis for each operation.
Some people not baby no why na against so be man conform akotu agudie woni nsuo so come say ni nsuo a ye ofo ase ye bi ase ye man conform kotu agudie woni nsuo so e say ye nsuo e wa ase esa say nsuo na no ni from aramebwa abri bia obi o be ko nsuo so no o ma police for any divers e bi e kire e kwakwakye no me a bi o mo ba kwa ye radar o mo di me 7,000 cedis. And some of my divers are back with 2 years of their shooting. It is a bit baby, not so so say, or Bequatia, or almost saying you are. Yea, of course, I say, Yan will be mamma say, yes, you saw no better. The Bepo at the answer, I know, I say. Well, myself for a good year, they will find part over to me at Tuno. I bind that one over 2. Now, so when you seek, I don't mind, and yes, I see. na December 7th abana ye kwa koto de besra mo ma me no me papa no mo me nyina ye pepe so ana ko a e koto abana ma no ma 1 me se koto ma wa ya koto ma wa ya na by the time I get care about the baby no na ko jo pon me aye empia na Ghana nyama mpeni fofra ye freno.
Away from Galamsey and into some labor agitation news, the Divisional Executives Council of the Public Service Workers Union of the Trade Union Congress Ghana National Identification Authority Division has announced an industrial strike effective today, October 7. A notice issued by the aggrieved workers on Sunday, October 6, indicates that the strike is a result of employers' failure to implement their newly approved scheme of service. The aggrieved workers say they will not call off their industrial action until the agreed scheme of service is implemented. After exhaustive patience and repeated demands, we regret to inform you that your unacceptable failure to operationalize the newly approved scheme of service has compelled us to take this decisive action beginning Monday, October 7, 2024. Still on labor agitation, the leadership of the Cocoa Carriers Association has instructed its members at the Tema, Takrady and Kumasi depot of the Cocoa Marketing Company Limited to commence an indefinite sit-down strike starting Monday, October 7, 2024 over issues related to their conditions of service. In 2022, members of the association undertook a similar strike demanding wage increase and improved working conditions. The previous strike led to thousands of bags of cocoa beans unattended at various Cocoa Marketing Company Limited warehouses. National Chairman of the Cocoa Carriers Association, Raymond Atanga Abobiga, issued the directive in an interview urging all members to fully participate in the upcoming indefinite strike. Let's take a look at digitalization, where Vice President Dr. Mamadou Bawumia, also the presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, has emphasized the critical role of digitalization in the economic independence of Ghana. Speaking during the launch of the Citizen app at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel on October 7, 2024, Bawumia asserted that digital growth is essential for propelling the nation into a prosperous future. As the world enters the fourth industrial revolution, it has become obvious that no economic strategy can succeed without a strong digital foundation in key areas such as public administration, trade, education, financial inclusion, and healthcare.
The fact is that as the world enters the fourth industrial revolution, it has become obvious that no economic strategy can succeed without a strong digital foundation. In key areas such as public administration, trade, education, financial inclusion, and healthcare, the absence of digital systems means that processes were slow, non-transparent, and prone to errors. Who use it? So I would like to urge all Ghanaians to embrace the Citizen app and to take full advantage of it. Using it does not cost anything. It just gives you so many opportunities to enhance your own requests from government and obtain them and so on. So whether you're renewing your passport, filling your taxes, looking for a job, just download.
Let's go back to our earlier story on the release of 9 of the protesters that were in the custody of police, the Democracy Hub protesters. We have joining us Benedict Nikrak, a human rights lawyer and one of the counsel for the protesters. Good afternoon, Benedict. Thank you for joining us. Good afternoon, Benedict. Hello, Benedict. Hello, Benedict. We'll establish contact with Benedict Nikraku so that we can find out what transpired at court today ahead of the release on bail of some 9 protesters. Away from that, the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Madam Julie Esiam, has expressed her enthusiasm over the newly launched Citizen app, which according to her is a bold step to eliminate the frustrations that people go through in accessing public information and services. Speaking at the launch of the app, Madam Julie Esiam said there would be no more delays by GRA before citizens can successfully access their services.
A real transformative initiative that stands to transform all our lives as individuals of this great nation and all of our nation together. Ladies and gentlemen, what we have just seen is an innovation that leapfrogs our nation beyond that of our peer African countries, and one that puts us shoulder to shoulder with developed markets. How powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I'm even more proud to say that the journey does not stop where we started. I have the privilege of continuing the strong legacy, a legacy built on foundation of technological progress, and one that I'm so deeply committed to advancing. Because for me, you see, this is not just about GRA's growth. It is about creating a GRA that is responsive to the evolving needs of the people that we all serve. It's not what Citizens App will do for the Ghana Revenue Authority, ladies and gentlemen. No. What truly gets me excited, and what should make every Ghanaian, you and me, excited for that matter, is what this new Citizens App system will do for you as a Ghanaian. With the Citizens App, we are taking very bold steps to eliminate frustrations that have for too long been associated with accessing public services. We are building a system that cuts through bureaucracy. Where I'm from, Ghana Revenue Authority, clearing goods at the port will soon be as simple as in some other countries. With this new app, your Ghana card becomes that unique ID that I described. Therefore, for the importer, your advanced cargo information will be linked directly to your Ghana card, and all the relevant data needed to clear your goods will be automatically shared between.
Finance Minister Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam has expressed optimism about the newly launched Citizen app, stating that the app will be a great tool in simplifying access to government services. Speaking at the official launch of the Citizen app on Monday, October 7, 2024, Dr. Amin Adam said the introduction of the app will transform the way state finances are utilized and managed to enhance transparency. Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam highlighted the transformative potential of Citizen app in ensuring transparency and accountability in government transactions.
The Citizen app is designed to make your interactions with the government easier, faster, and more convenient, and we are confident it will do just that. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look ahead to the future, I am filled with optimism about the impact that the Citizen app will have on our nation. By simplifying access to government services, improving revenue collection, and promoting transparency, the Citizen app is poised to transform the way we govern and manage our nation's finances.
Adam also disclosed that the launch of the Citizen app will have a profound impact on tax administration. According to him, the entire tax filing process has been digitalized through the introduction of the app. This is to ease the bureaucratic nature of the process in boosting revenue collection and enhancing tax compliance.
One of the key areas where the Citizen app will make an immediate and profound impact is in tax administration. As we know, tax compliance has historically requiring individuals and businesses to navigate multiple platforms and often visit GRA offices in person to fulfill their tax obligations. Now, with the Citizen app, the entire tax filing process has been simplified. This unprecedented ease of access is expected to increase compliance and revenue collection. More importantly, This additional revenue will give the government more fiscal space to fund critical sectors such as health, education, infrastructure, and social.
Joining us on the line is Patrick Asari Frimpong. He is the head of product at Digital Gov. Hello, Patrick. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Patrick,
good afternoon to all your listeners.
Well, how different is this app from other apps that serve the same purpose, Patrick?
Yeah, so the difference is that this app, anyway, today two things were launched. First is what we call the Citizen App Data Interoperability Service, which is a DS exchange, which allows all state agencies to exchange data. Running a state needs a lot of data, and each of these state agencies have, through the presidency and the direction of the vice president, have done all the integration, but all the data is staying there. So today we launched DS Bridge that shows that the agencies communicate. Now the Citizen app is sit on top of it, where it allows the citizen to be able to interact with the state agencies through one window where they can interact on a secure platform and they get it. So the difference is that this is a window for citizens into all state agencies that allow them with a single click be able to connect to these agencies and get the services. I think a lot of examples that were stated was if you want to get your passport, you want to register a school, your business, you want to get your NHIS, connect your SNIT. All these have to be connected by you visiting all these state institutions or their portal. With this one app, because it sits on top of this bridge, it allows you to securely interconnect and engage with all these state institutions. So that's the primary change, differentiator between this app and any other app that you have. This is the only app that will give you the interface to all state agencies in the country, and it's a revolutionary one.
Patrick, won't this app serve similar or the same purpose as the Ghana.gov app? So
that's a very good question. I think that when it was being reviewed, it was clear that there are stages in every government. One is manual, second is transactional. Ghana.gov is what allowed all citizens to be able to make payments for services. Now, on top of it now is this Ghana Citizen app, which does not only do payments, it also allows you to interconnect and have all the other services that the state agencies do have. An example is, like I said, you are connecting to your SNIT to check your SNIT payment that has been done by employer. You are not making a payment. You are able to also connect to passport and make verification from there, not necessarily trying to pay for a passport. So this is different. It's just an upgrade, in my opinion. It's an upgrade version of the Ghana.gov that allows not only payment but also adds on more services. And additionally, also it brings in more state agencies or all the state agencies, unlike digital Ghana.gov that was only dealing with just payments.
Patrick, beyond the app, for those people who do not have access to smartphones or are not technologically savvy, what are they going to do? Will there be another platform for them so that it can also serve them?
Thank you for that question. So there are three ways that you can access the app. One is the mobile app, which I think is the one that everybody is used to, which you go to the Android Play Store and type Citizen app, you get it. Second is we've also done it on the web. That is, if you want to access it on your desktop or even on the web on your phone, you can do that by going to citizen.gov.gh. But we also have a USSD as a shortcode version that is *333*333# which for those who do not have smartphones want to access can. But the only caveat there is that has a bit of a limited access because, usage because it's not a smartphone, therefore you can do most of the services like facial IDs and the rest in there. But for everybody in the different levels of society, everybody have access. Either you are using the mobile app, the web, or you are using the USSD.
Patrick, to allay fears and concerns that this app will become a white elephant, what should be done to sensitize more people to be able to use the app so that it is not underserving the purpose for which it has been launched?
Exactly. So what is going to happen is that beyond the launch, there's going to be a lot of activities around how we onboard. So national service is onboarding. We're also onboarding for all national service posting is going to be there, national health insurance. So there's a roadmap of activities that are going to happen to make sure that nobody is disenfranchised without regard to how they use this app and the system.
Thank you for speaking with us, Patrick.
You're most welcome.
Patrick Asari Frimpong is the head of product at Digital Gov. This is all for the local stories we have. Let's take a breather. We will be back with some business news. President Akufo-Addo, in an interview on France 24, has expressed confidence in the rebound of the Ghanaian economy. He stressed on the positive impacts of the debt structuring program within the shortest period.
First of all, it is a sign of the confidence that your creditors have in your economy. That 98.6% of those holding the commercial debt of Ghana have agreed on the reworking of the debt. That's what essentially the restructuring is about. They're going to, as from next week, exchange their bonds for new bonds which have a different maturity dates, different rates of interest. $13 billion of money was restructured as a result of this agreement. $5 billion equipment, 37% of the nominal value of our debt has been essentially cancelled, and another $4.3 billion of savings on interest will also accrue during the period. So altogether, you're talking about savings to the Ghanaian exchequer of something in the region of $10 billion. That's a significant amount of money. And what it is meaning is that Ghana as economy is now back to where it was before the crisis. First of all,
economist at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Godfrey Botbin, said the completion of the external Economists at the University of Ghana Business School said that the completion of the external bilateral company early this year and the completion of the domestic debt exchange is a good news for Ghana. Speaking on ABC in the morning, Mr. Botman stressed that the finance minister's announcement on Ghana's return to the capital market is no news due to the unavailability of timelines. He further stated that the roadmap which will take the country to return to the capital market has not been met yet. We apologize for the little technical challenge. Still on business, Professor Botman says the IMF program is able to deliver on its objectives, adding that the country's microeconomic instability will begin to regroup, which will compel the country for another fund program as the IMF. For business, let's take some sports stories. The Confederation of African Football has officially informed Kwesi Appiah to resign from one of his roles before the Ghana-Sudan game. The former Ghana international is currently the head coach of the Sudanese national team and also holds a position as an executive council member of the Ghana Football Association. Some sections of football fans have criticized Appiah's roles, with some calling on him to relinquish one of his roles. However, ahead of the 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifiers doubleheader, CAF has informed Appiah to resign from one of his roles before the game. According to CAF, this is to prevent any conflict of interest ahead of the game. Let's take some international stories. Rwanda has initiated vaccine trials against the deadly Marburg virus, which has already claimed the lives of at least 12 people, mostly health workers in the country. The vaccine trials will focus on adults aged 18 and older, with no current plans to conduct trials in children. The Rwandan government has restricted funeral sizes for victims of the virus to curb its spread. The country is expected to receive experimental vaccines and therapeutics in the coming weeks to combat the outbreak. According to the World Health Organization, the Marburg virus has a mortality rate of approximately 50%, with previous outbreaks killing between 24 and 88% of those infected. That's all for international news. Let's take some entertainment stories. In entertainment, Kelly Ray, a 33-year-old professional singer, has emerged as winner of the Big Brother Naija Season 9, also known as No Lose Guard, taking home the grand prize of 100 million naira. The season finale took place on Sunday, October 6, 2024, and Kelly Ray emerged victorious among the three finalists, including Onyeka and Wani. Kelly Ray entered the house with his wife Cassia as part of the dynamic duo Double K. Throughout the season, Kelly Ray demonstrated his strength and determination, ultimately securing the highest number of votes from viewers and being crowned the winner. The season finale was marked by a dramatic twist when Big Brother unpaired the remaining housemates, throwing them into uncharted territories. Wani emerged as the first runner-up and Onyeka finished as second runner-up. That's all for the news this afternoon, but before we go, a look at our top stories. 9 protesters involved in recent anti-Galamsey protests have been granted bail by an Accra High Court, setting the bail at 70,000 Ghana cedis with 2 sureties for each of them. As part of its digitization agenda, government has launched a common platform called Citizen App to harmonize all transactions and services. Several applicants requesting for the identification cards are stranded as workers of the National Identification Authority have declared strike. President Akufo-Addo touts the economic rebound after successfully rolling out the domestic debt restructuring program. And in the international news, Rwanda has initiated vaccine trials against the deadly Marburg virus, which has already claimed lives of at least 12 people. Thank you for your time this afternoon. For more news, visit our website www.abcnewsgh.com. Interact with us on social media at abcnewsgh_. I am Abna Manti. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.